Everybody, in this video, I'm going to be going over very important concepts such as the pros and cons of day trading versus swing trading, as well as I'm also going to be going over step by step, if you're new to day trading or if you're planning on taking this very seriously, step by step what to do, as well as I'm also going to be talking about how to drastically improve your performance if you're always red, you're having a hard time. So I see a few people on my live stream, they keep saying they're having a really difficult time. And again, this is really going to help in my opinion. And I want to make it clear in this video specifically because I know I say this every video, but this video specifically because it sounds more like financial advice. But I want to say clearly that this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. This is just entertainment. This is just based off what I think. Is do not follow. Do not think I'm a financial advisor because I'm not. I don't have a license to do that. I'm just trying to help people give my opinions as well as entertainment. So I want to make that clear, right? So the first pro of day trading is that you have full control exactly that moment, right? For example, let's say you buy a stock at $1. It starts to look bad. You want to get out, you get out. If you want to take your profit, once it starts popping, breaking out, you could take your profit. That's something I really like about day trading because I'm going to be going over later, but when you're swing trading, there's a lot of times where you can't get out when you're sleeping or when the market's closed or, some platforms don't even have the pre-market or after hours, right? The sessions. So the second thing that's really good about day trading in my opinion, is that the profit is much quicker and easier. Again, this is if you have experience in what to trade, but it's really quick. Like, for example, you could buy stock at $5 and then immediately within seconds, you're up a lot. So that's another thing I really like about day trading. Another really big pro about day trading is that there's no future. Like, when you're swing trading, you're buying something, trying to sell it within a couple of days, right? You're basically thinking about the future, right? Whether in day trading, you're thinking about right there, that present moment. Within a second, you look at a chart, it looks like a good setup, you buy at the breakout, and you make money. And now let's go over the cons of day trading. Is that day trading can definitely be a lot more stressful than swing trading. This is due to the speed as well as the decision making in day trading. It's very, very fast. It's like the second you get in a stock, you could be green and then immediately you're red, as well as you have to execute decision making at a very high speed. Because if you make the wrong decision, let's say you buy a stock at somewhere you're not supposed to, at the top, that could really blow up your account. So the second thing is that it's really volatile, which is what I just went over, right? Where the movement is very like whippy. It's like a whip, up and down. And there's another con of day trading is that it's very time intensive, where if you're at school, if you're in school, if you're studying, if you're at work, if you're working all day or you work in multiple jobs, as well as responsibilities, if you have a lot of family, you have friends, you have to take care of your pets. There's a lot of in life, right? There's a lot of responsibilities that we have. There's a lot of stuff you have to do. So if you're busy, then it could also be, effective your time. And this is the most important thing is that when you're day trading, you require a lot of mental discipline. It's a high level of mental discipline that's required because a lot of people, yeah, I'm telling you, if you make one mistake and then you end up revenge trading or you end up blowing up your account, this could be really bad, right? So now let's talk about swing trading. So one of the biggest pros about swing trading is that you don't have to constantly be on top or monitor your position. For example, you could buy stock and then you don't have to look at it, right, for hours or in that moment. As well as one of the biggest pros of swing trading is that it's easier to chart out to left chart because you could do this even when the market's not even open. Let's say you want to enter a swing trade for an oil stock, right? So in the weekend, you could chart out the levels on the daily chart. You could look at the yearly trend or you could do that. But when you're day trading, you can still do that, obviously. But there are a lot of times where stocks just popping up and then there's literally no time. Within seconds, you have to make a decision on the technical levels or you're going to end up getting in a bad situation, you know what I'm saying? So another thing is that it's mentally more comfortable, right, when you're making decisions because, again, day trading can be really fast, but swing trading is much more slower. So one of the cons, though, about swing trading is that there's slower feedback. So right, if you're trying to out a strategy when you're trading, when you're swing trading, it could take a lot more time for you to understand if a strategy is good or if it's working or what you're doing correct. But when you're day trading, you make a mistake. Let's say you buy a top you know immediately what you did wrong, right? But when you're swing trading, it could take a couple days or weeks to find out if you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that's one bad thing. The second bad thing is that this is the biggest thing. There's a lot of people that don't have access to extended pre-market or after hours or when you're sleeping overnight. A stock could have really bad news. This is, for example, a stock could delist, they could do bankrupt offering, they could just have like a short report come out, or a lot of bad things could happen. Where this is speaking from my experience as well as I've seen other people tell me as well. Where you're holding a small cap, right, and then they announce a public offering. Let's say the stock is trading at $5, and then you wake up. By the time the market's open, it's trading at like $2, so you pretty much got destroyed on the position, right? And this is another big con about swing trading, is that you have to have a high level of patience. For example, if you buy stock and then it starts to go down and then it goes down more, but you have a trading plan, you know why you got in. A lot of times this is true where a lot of people are gonna panic. They're gonna not have patience and they're gonna exit the position at a loss, and then literally within a day or in the future, it's gonna go back all the way up, rally back up, and then you're gonna feel really bad. So it requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of mental stamina, right? And another con about swing trading is that oftentimes there's fewer opportunity during certain moments in the market, because there are times when swing trading is really good, and there are times when there's pretty much very little opportunity when you're trying to find out swing trade opportunities, right? So the reason I talked about the pros and cons of both day trading and swing trading is because, yes, you can do both technically, and that is what I do as well. But if you really want to get good at one area, I highly recommend that you stick to one. Because if you're just hopping back and forth and you're newer to trading, where you haven't been trading several years, I think, in my opinion, it's going to be really difficult for you to get good. You know what I'm saying? Hope you understand what I'm saying, right? So this is step by step, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice, but step by step, I'm telling you. If you're starting day trading, you're watching this video, you want to get into day trading, or if you planning on taking this very seriously, this is my step-by-step basis. So the very first thing you have to do is you have to pick a good trading platform, as well as you have to trade on PC or laptop. This is just my opinion. If you want to trade your phone, you're doing great. That's up to the person that's watching this video, but this is my opinion. You have to do that because when you're trading in the stock market, you're going up against people with literal millions of dollars, sometimes billions in the stock market, right? And people with so many years of experience, decades of experience, like the smartest people in the world, the strongest people in the world. You're trading against firms, and if you're entering the market trading on a slow platform that has issues, you're trading on your phone when you're just, let's say you're walking in a cafe and you're just buying, selling, looking outside. What do you think is going to happen, in my opinion, right? It's like a goldfish fighting against sharks. Hope people understand what I'm saying. So it's really important for that. Second thing you have to do is the money that you use. This is the biggest thing. A lot of people, in my opinion, are using way too much money. I've seen people using $50,000, $100,000, and they don't even understand what they're doing, right? This is my opinion. Where I see on stock tweets, people are using so much money, and it's just crazy to me. Where you could lose everything in the stock market, right? So this is my opinion. You don't use more than $100 unless you are comfortable with that. If you're comfortable losing more, that's up to the person watching. But in my opinion, this is what I'll do. I will not use more than $100, because for me, for that amount, it doesn't really affect psychologically, or if you're red or green on a trade, right? So it blocks out the emotion, and you could eventually scale up over time, or you could grow the account compounded, and then eventually you can make a lot, right? So this is the third thing that you have to do, in my opinion, is that you have to have a rhythm, a schedule. A lot of people, I'm telling you, they just wake up at any time. When the market's open, they wake up, let's say one day they wake up at 5 a.m., one day they wake up at 8, one day they wake up at the lunchtime, one time they enter a trade at like random 2 p.m. And you have to have a schedule, because as human beings, right, we're designed to have more mental skill as well as comfort when you're doing the same thing every day. So for me, I have the same time every day, in the morning time I start trading, as well as I start looking at charts every day at the same time, and I stick to it, right? I don't just wake up random time one day, and that's really bad because that's not going to build consistency, right? So that's the third thing. Fourth thing, this is very, very important, guys. You have to study every single trade that you take. I know it's boring to a lot of people. I know that it may sound like obvious. Of course, you have to study, but you'd be surprised how many people they buy stock and they lose and they don't even care. They don't even look at it. They don't study it. They don't break it down. So when you do that, you're burning your money on the fire. You're throwing it out. You're throwing in the garbage. Because if you lose money in the stock market, which is gonna happen to every single person watching the video, myself included. We are going to take losing trades, and you don't study, then that's a waste. Because think about it. Everybody that wants to become a doctor, a lawyer, someone who's really good at a profession, it doesn't matter, a chef, they spend so much money and time and experience to get to where they are, to make a lot of money, as well as become one of the top people in the space, right? So how is it different for trading? How is it different for something where you can make more than a doctor in a shorter period of time? I've seen people making millions of dollars in day trading within a very short period of time. Saw someone making 100K a day. So how does it make sense where when people spend literally decade plus to become a doctor, and they go into medical debt, they pay 50,000 university costs, 100,000, 150,000. Some people pay way more than $200,000. How does it make sense for someone to get good at trading without paying any tuition, right? So if you flip your mindset, if you're watching this video, you're red, you flip it around where you think that instead of saying you lost money, instead of saying that, oh, I need to make this back, think of it in a way where you use that to go to university. That's how I think about when I lose money. So that's why I don't get bent. I don't get in a bad mental state, right? So hope people understand what I'm saying. So you have to think about it like that. Where if you lose a trade, there's guarantee, in my opinion. There was something that, not guarantee, because obviously sometimes you could do everything right in your system and you could lose the trade. But if you're watching this video, it's highly likely that you didn't trade many years. So you did something wrong, right? So let's say this is one common example. Let's say you bought a stock from FOMO. You didn't have a plan. You just jumped into a stock when it was going really high, and then you lose on it. That's something that you could fix, right? Because that's a mistake. When you're buying a stock without a plan, you're buying it when it's ripping face and you lose a lot. That's something you could study about, right? And the last thing is, if you do this every day, in my opinion, you will eventually pick up on things where you're going to get really good, in my opinion, in terms of tracking what mistakes you did, as well as improving. So the last thing I want to talk about for this video, this is really important. And this is for people that's always red. This is for the people that always say they can't catch a break, or it's like there are people that are saying, oh, trading is not for me, I want to quit. This is for you. And there's people that are watching this video that are probably doing great. Or if you're green, this is not for you. But if you're red every day, where you can't catch a break, you go to your history, right? You go to your trading platform history. Every platform has the history where you could see what you lost or made. So find out what is the biggest pattern of green or red. If you're watching this video, you're saying that you're red every day. I'd say that every single person has had at least one green trade or a series of green success, right? So figure out what you did right. Why are you green during that time? And then just literally just do the same thing over and over and over. Just stick to that. Don't ignore everything else. Don't think about any other setup. Just focus on that every day for months, years, and you're going to become a master at that strategy. And then eventually you're going to start to make a lot more green than red. And if there's no setup that fits your criteria, then you don't trade it. If you do this, in my opinion, it's going to drastically change your performance. Because the reason I'm saying this is because there's so many people out there that are buying stocks just randomly. They don't know what they're doing. They're just buying it. And that's a almost guarantee way you're going to lose everything, right? Because it's pretty much like doing lottery, you're paying Mega Million, you're scratching tickets, lottery tickets every day. And you can look up right now, Google it. What is the statistics of people that do that stuff? The chance they win the Mega Millions or Powerball, you can look it up, right? So I hope this video helped a lot, because I'm really passionate about helping people, right? I could be like 90% of people that do a premium course or premium Discord and make, 5-figure, 6-figure, and just not care about people. But if you stick to this stuff, it could seriously help out, right? So let me know how it goes. And if you have any questions, email me, guys. So this is my opinion, is gonna help a lot of people. And if you're watching this video and you're green, right? Let's say you're green on a couple trades, but you don't know why you did it, then that's another issue as well. Because if you're entering a trade, you have to have a specific reason why you're buying it. It cannot be random, because eventually luck is not gonna last forever. You're gonna end up in a situation where you're gonna lose everything you made, right? Because this is the thing about beginner luck, right? A lot of people, they enter trading and they make money. They think they're the best, and then what happens? They lose everything. So you have to have a system. Like, you have to have a reason you're taking a trade, and literally just stick to that over and over and over and over every day, guys, and you're eventually gonna do good. All right, guys, I'm wishing you success. If you're watching this video, made it 10 in the video, again, I appreciate if you like and comment and share. Maybe play this video a couple times, because it does drastically grow my community. And again, I'm just doing all this for free, guys, on my videos. I'm just trying to help people, seriously. So have a great night, and I'm gonna be making more videos, guys. All right, signing out, Stock Catcher. All right, peace.